Hello, it's Patrick Townley at um, ptlarts.com, acting about it in Brighton. I'm an artist. These are some of these portrait landscapes in oils. I also do watercolors. I also have got like a, um, yes, uh, I've been starting to sort of share my process online, which you can see at ptlarts.com. So like learning really, so art and learning. So part of the learning process is talking about not just painting, but talking about like working with art and how we get out there basically as a business. So how to start a business. So a series of videos talking through the process I've been going through and hopefully help you start to think about getting your art out there if you're an artist or thinking about it, or if it's something that you want to do in the future, some of the challenges that I've been finding. And so I'm going to talk about three things today. One, authenticity. Two, look at the work that you've got. Three, projects. So the first thing, authenticity. It's a matter of perception, isn't it? Maybe, you have experience of feeling that somebody's authentic or not. I mean, when you feel like attracted to somebody, like on the media, for example, it's very easy to identify whether they're authentic or not, or whether you really connect with them, whether they're true to themselves. Now, I believe that this sort of partly is down to the skill of the presentation of the person that's on any particular media, but more than that, it's something like instinctual that is built into us, so that we can, eventually we can develop the wisdom to understand if somebody's being truthful or not. And but of course, sometimes we can get the wool seriously pulled over our eyes and think somebody's authentic and then find out later that they're not. But generally, if somebody's not authentic at some point or the other, they're below their cover and can be very good at sort of acting it out, but it can't last forever. So, like, I guess we've all had experiences of that where we've really trusted and felt somebody, and then we discover that actually they're very good at acting the part of being authentic. So for us, to be sort of successful in a sustained way, I feel, it's really important that we look I look at myself and I'm really honest with my strengths, my weaknesses, my abilities, where I need to develop, and look at them realistically. And then I'm able to talk to you, hopefully, in a more authentic way than I did before. As I move on through my development, in other words, like I'm doing a series of videos to really investigate where I'm coming from, why I want to share what I do, why I want to share my art, because it's about value, isn't it? It's about the value of these objects that I'm making, the value that I can create for the people that are buying them from me. That it's the value that's important to me. And of course, money is the energy or the energy flow within the transaction to enable me to increase my ability to make more of them, to share and make value with other people, and also like the accompanying merchandise that can go with them, that, and also to share like the process I'm going through, so other people can like take on that process or develop that process in whatever way they wish, to enable them to develop their business, develop their interests to the fullest potential. So it's perception. There's instinct involved, which is like, I think, on a really primal level. There's being true to yourself, which is, we think we're being true to ourselves, but it's a lifelong journey in a sense. So, I humble myself. I find it a humbling experience to sort of, it's something that you constantly need to be battling to be true to yourself. It's not something that you're true to yourself and that's it, end of story. And I think we can perceive with our instincts when somebody's really doing their best to be true to themselves. I think it's, or even interested in being true to themselves. Some people maybe clearly are a long way from even being interested in being true to themselves. And then, so the key thing to help us communicate that authenticity is our story, and we all have a story of sorts. So and also there's many different angles to that story, aren't there, where we can display our authenticity, whether we're true to ourselves, to others. And the point that I'm trying to make is that for us to be able to start to connect with people and own the beauty in the work in the work that we do, it's it's hard, isn't it? It's sort of, but the more that we can be true to ourselves, the more we're able to enable people to connect with our personal story. And of course, when they buy one of our pieces of art, one of your pieces of art, then they have a story. So it's not just an object, is it? So it's an object, it's a story. And so there's a story, isn't there? It's a communication from the depths of our life that's going onto the canvas with each brushstroke or whatever, whether it's sculpting something, whether it's photography, it doesn't matter what it is. It's your life going through a set of actions to set up an object that you are communicating something. For me, I'm communicating, for example, a portrait or a landscape or a seascape. So there's emotion in there, but it's also so there's feeling. So that's the way I work. It's about feelings and emotion first, and then being able to connect with whatever I connect with what I'm painting. So that's number one, authenticity, an all-round look. It seems to be a lot of talk, doesn't it? But I think it's important for us to reflect, ask ourselves, have I even thought of it? Because while we're going through the process of sharing what is deeply personal on one level, like our work, with others, and doing it in a efficient way, or not efficient way, in a way where we can actually make some progress in building a business, we need to really think about where we're coming from. So second thing is look at the work you've got. So maybe you have a style of working with a particular style. So you work to the same sort of canvases, you tend to be graphic style or your decorative style, but you have a style that goes through all your paintings. Maybe you like have concentrated on creating high-end price work, possibly, or maybe multimedia, lots of. So the thing to do is look at the work you've got and see how broad a perspective, how broad a range of things you have to offer for people. In other words, is it, and be honest, really. Have a look at what you've got and then start to think, brainstorm about what else you can do to broaden your range of products to sort of so that you appeal to a greater range of people. Or if you just investigate this point, it's about being realistic about what you have got. And I'm sure you've got a lot more than you believe you've got. That's another point. So it's like, have a look at it. Don't dismiss anything that you've got. Because interestingly enough, I've sold quite a few paintings that I felt weren't even complete, to be honest. But I just advertised them, not advertised them in a really big way, and people have connected with them and bought them. So you just never know. Have a look at what you've got and keep a note of where you think it sits. Yeah, if you've been trying to sell it for ages, what sort of prices are they? Have you got, do you range from a small price thing to a high price thing? Do you not know how to price your things? All of those, does it fill you with terror, the idea of selling things? All of those points is worth just sitting down and facing up to the reality of what you actually feel. And then go back to this first point about the perception of who you are, your story, etc., etc., and see if you can identify a relationship between the work that you've got and also the perception of yourself. See if there's a correlation between the two. So number 3, like projects. So a way forward really is to look at new work. So what projects have you been thinking of doing? Are you doing? Would you like to do, but you haven't started? But look at them in relation to the work that you've already got. If you want to sell your work, you need to sort of really have a look out there and see what people are buying. What do people buy? What is popular? What is it that people want? So, and I know it's really, really tricky, but in your field, whatever it is, whatever your style of work it is, look at your competitors if you haven't done already. Then look at what you've got, and then look at who you are and the way you perceive things. So those 3 things, it's like self-reflection, research, being true to yourself, being honest with where you're at and what you need to go forward. So over the next few videos, I'll go deeper into this. Just various things that I've done that have really helped me move forward in like developing my art as a business. So I'm still very new at developing this business, but it is on an upward trend. And so everything that I'm learning on the way, I want to share and help and learn with you on your journey of like selling, making a business. And that business and art don't have to be separate things. You can be creative in business the same way that you're creative in your artwork. So that's it. If you've got any comments, stick them down below. Give me a thumbs up. It'd be really great. Thanks ever so much for listening. And I'll see you next time.